The anti-lock brake wheel speed sensor, or ABS sensor for short, is used to monitor the rotation of each of the wheels on your vehicle. Now, most newer vehicles will have 4 ABS sensors on them, one for each corner of the vehicle, but this wasn't always the case. Some older vehicles may only use front wheel ABS, and then some older trucks might use 2 sensors in each front wheel, but then one in the back mounted into the differential. But like I said, most newer vehicles you will find 4 of these sensors mounted into the wheel hubs by the wheels. Now, this sensor plays a vital role in the safety and maneuverability of your vehicle. So this sensor takes the information from your wheel, figures out how fast each wheel is going, and then sends that information off to the anti-lock brake computer. Now, the anti-lock brake computer uses this information in systems such as anti-lock braking or stability control or traction control. So should you have one that you're trying to change out, the installation process on these can be a little bit troublesome just because they're located outside of the vehicle. They have to deal with rust and corrosion and road salt and everything else that happens outside of the vehicle. So especially up here where we get a lot of salt on our roads, we have to be very careful removing these. Penetrating oil and patience are going to be your best friend here. So you're going to want to soak this thing with some penetrating oil and then very carefully remove the bolt and remove the sensor. All right, you don't want to go breaking off the bolt or breaking off the sensor inside of the hub because then you've just created more work for yourself. So patience is key. When you remove the old sensor, you're going to want to clean off the mounting surface in case there's any rust on there. And then you're also going to want to clean off the bore that the sensor is going into. Also, with the new sensor, a thin coat of some new oil on there, just like any sensor with an O-ring, just slightly around the O-ring just to help ease in installation so we don't roll that O-ring out of its joint in that sensor. Now, should you have a sensor that's failing, should you have one that's on the way out, you're going to end up with a couple different concerns. First of all, you're going to get your anti-lock brake light to come on. It'll say ABS on your dash. You'll get your red brake light to come on most of the time. And then if your vehicle has stability and traction control, you'll also usually get those lights on as well. So you could possibly have 4 lights on your dash for one failing sensor. Now, it's important to note that if your ABS light, traction control light, or stability control lights are lit up on your dash, those systems are not going to function. You will not have ABS, you will not have your traction control, and you will not have your stability control because the computer doesn't trust the information that's coming out of the sensor right now. So if the sensor's failing, that sensor might read 0 miles per hour to the computer while all the other sensors are working normal. So it's not going to give you those safety features like it normally would. So why should you choose an NTK ABS wheel speed sensor? Well, as with every sensor from NTK, you're getting yourself a premium quality product with outstanding support and industry-leading innovation that's been bred directly from our company's OE heritage. These attributes and more truly make NTK the sensor specialist.